Wednesday morning this morning, folks. Happy Wednesday, September 22nd, and I'm very excited on today's broadcast to give you another edition of AD and DT. That is AD Athletics Director Bob Beretta at LeMoyne College, and DT, of course, right here, yours truly, Dan Tortora. Happy to be here with you every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. I hope you are enjoying your week so far. You are listening on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt. You are also listening on wakeupcalldt.com's homepage, and you are with me here on youtube.com/wakeupcalldt, facebook.com/wakeupcalldt, and facebook.com/livenowdt every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. You can also search Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora or Wake Up Call DT on Stitcher, Spotify, MixLR, YouTube, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Podbean, and TuneIn. So make sure you search Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on your favorite podcasting platform, and you'll catch us there as well in the archives. And, of course, a big thanks to our Central and Upstate New York partners. Our team is vast and our team is awesome, and they're all throughout Central and Upstate New York. Cafe Kubal, Carvel DeWitt, the Wildcat Sports Pub, Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory, Progressive Dental, Avicoli's, Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay, the LeMoyne Dolphins, Pizza Man, Honda City of Liverpool, Mother's Cupboard, Victory Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, PB&J's Lunchbox, Canine Camp Dog Daycare, Millhouse Market, and Canine Campground Dog Boarding. So thank you so much to all of our awesome partners here in the community, and thank you to you. We're going to take a quick step aside for a fast break. When we come back inside of Ma and Pa's Popcorn.com's What's Poppin', we are here with AD and DT. Bob Beretta and I join each other once again for an all-new, which I'm very excited about, an all-new AD and DT. This one where Bob answers the question, why LeMoyne? All of that's coming up to you here where sports meets life on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. So hang out with us inside of the Cafe Kubal studios as we will be back with Bob Beretta right after this. As you know that every Wednesday at 9 a.m., set the dial, every Wednesday at 9 is, as you already know, Dolphin time. Every Wednesday at 9 is Dolphin time. And we'll see you back here with Bob Beretta in just a moment.
Cafe Kubal Mobile Cafe brings the cafe experience to you. We'll roll out to your neighborhood or office, ready to serve our locally crafted espresso bar to our loyal patrons. Inquire at cafekubal.com. Cafe Kubal, coffee for the soul.
This is Amy from Mother's Cupboard, home of the whole frittata. We are open daily 6 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. For takeout orders, call 315-432-0942 and tune in to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora for our monthly food challenge and try our Wake Up Call signature menu item available 7 days a week. Here at Mother's Cupboard, we are Central New York, and it's our honor to serve you.
Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory, located on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, is home to over 40 flavors with more than 200 flavors in their total wheelhouse. Sky's the limit for this sweet and savory Central New York company. Keep it local at your parties, fundraisers, wedding showers, baby showers, and more by calling 315-450-MA-PA. That's 315-450-6272 for popcorn bars with custom flavors and colors at your upcoming event. Make sure to visit them on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. And for more information, go to maandpassnacks.com. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. How corny are you?
Here at Progressive Dental, we understand the importance of regular dental visits and preventive care. Cleanings and checkups are essential to good oral health. We have multiple locations in the Southern Tier, so come visit us in Binghamton, Enwell, Kirkwood, Montrose, and Norwich. For self-pay non-insured patients, we offer the Smile Plan, which covers all of your cleanings, x-rays, and exams for an affordable yearly price. Call 607-754-2273 or 607-754-CARE to make an appointment today. For more information, visit our website at progressivedentalny.com.
The Millhouse Market, located on 3790 New York 13 in Pulaski, New York, is worth the drive every time. Make sure you download their app on the Google Play or Apple App Store so you'll have their entire menu at your fingertips, from their homemade breads and desserts to their quinoa bowls, rice bowls, salads, as well as brick oven pizzas and sandwiches that are named after the families that helped to settle today's Pulaski. Ingrained in our community and ingrained in our taste buds, I am very happy and proud to have right here with us in Pulaski, New York, the Millhouse Market. So make sure you head out there today. Open Tuesday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. and on Sundays from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. We'd love to see you out at the Millhouse Market, where I am proud to go all the time. And they are absolutely, positively worth it. The toughest thing that I have every week is trying to figure out what I'm going to get, because I love so many things on their menu, and from the M&M cookie to the bee sting pizza to the steak and blue pizza to the breakfast pizza to the meatball sandwich and everything that they have there. Their muffins, their raspberry muffins, and just incredible. So get out to the Millhouse Market today and know that homemade tastes so much better, and we'll see you there. Welcome back here for our second episode of AD and DT with the Director of Athletics, also known as Athletics Director. It goes back and forth depending on who you talk to here. So AD and DT with myself, Dan Tortora, and Bob Beretta. Thankful to have you here inside of our very special multimedia marketing partnership and these conversations that air monthly between Bob and I with different topics each time. And whenever it comes to anything going on at LeMoyne, be it Bob's story or another story that we're going to be telling about this college, about its expansion, its growth, its progression, be sure to have it on AD and DT, as Bob will be sitting in with us to give us awesome information coming up in our future, and obviously a lot of positive values and a positive move in our community. So as always, Bob, I welcome you back.
Well, thank you, Dan. It's my pleasure to be here. Thanks for being here with us.
Absolutely. First and foremost, the question of being here. After what we talked about in the last broadcast, which led perfectly into this one, it's why LeMoyne? When you go through all of the time you've been in sports information, all the time that you spent, from St. Bonaventure to West Point for Army, why come to LeMoyne? Why LeMoyne?
It was a question that was asked quite a bit during the interview process, and I think that people thought it was a little bit of a strange match on the surface. Someone who had been at one place for 34 years at a place like West Point and didn't see the connectivity, and I differed greatly. I went to St. Bonaventure, so I went to a faith-based institution, small campus setting just like LeMoyne, very similar. And when I learned of the LeMoyne opportunity, I began doing some diligent research, and ironically, so many people that I'd been dealing with in my career at West Point were LeMoyne graduates or had ties to LeMoyne that I hadn't any knowledge of prior to the research. So it drove me to take a ride up to LeMoyne one day before I officially applied for the position, and I said, I just want to see if there might be a fit. I want to walk on that campus. I want to see if I feel like it would be a great fit. And I came up and I thought I would drive around for about 20 minutes.
You drive from West Point?
I did. I drove from West Point. I thought it would be a 6-hour drive, spend a half hour on the ground, dedicated day to that. Well, I came up, stepped foot on campus, and honestly, I fell in love with the campus setting immediately. I wanted to get back to a campus where I could potentially develop granular relationships with student athletes again. It harkened back to my days at St. Bonaventure. I loved the campus. I stayed all day. I walked around, I talked to student athletes, I talked to students, I talked to faculty members, staff members, and just wandered around. And it cemented my desire to be part of the search process. I applied for the job. I interviewed in March of 2020, And then the pandemic struck and things got put on hold until November.
Yeah.
And I came up and interviewed in November and went through the process. But I found many commonalities between West Point and LeMoyne. And when I talked about this initially, people raised their eyebrows. But as I get into the detail, they can see the connection. Now, West Point is about service. The military is about service.
Yeah.
Service is a huge component here in the Jesuit faith and at LeMoyne. We talk about, at West Point, they talked about always developing the entire person, the whole cadet, militarily, educationally, physically, all those elements. Well, it's no different here at LeMoyne. We try to aspire to develop the whole person, the whole individual, spiritually and educationally, and here also on the athletic field. So I drew great parallels to LeMoyne and West Point. I wanted to stay in New York if I could. I've had opportunities to go elsewhere over my years of my career. But it comes down to fit. I really felt comfortable on this campus. I loved the student athletes that I had a chance to meet during the process. I loved their passion. I felt like I could help in some small way, elevate. That's one of our themes this year, is to elevate and elevate everything that we do as administrators, as we try to elevate the profile of this campus and of our athletic department. I just felt like there was a good fit. I felt like I could come and make a difference, and that was what was most important to me, to find a place where I would be with like-minded people and where I could make a difference.
What is it about this campus that when you got here and you stepped foot on it, you said it just felt right, you fell in love with it? Why?
It's hard to put into words, Dan, but there was this feeling of warmth. You know, I had a warm feeling like I was home. Like, it's strange. As I mentioned, I went to St. Bonaventure, and I think that there's a great deal of similarities between the two settings. They're different, obviously, in structure, but I felt like there were great similarities. And I just felt home. I just felt comfortable. As I interacted with people, everyone felt genuine. Everyone felt authentic.
Yeah.
Everyone felt mission-oriented. And it felt like you'd be part of this great team. And that's really what the Army is and what West Point is. So to me, I just felt like I was home. And it was a very easy decision to make.
You said you got to meet some student athletes when you came here, and that those connections meant something to you as well. Who did you get to meet?
So I got to meet Ellie Summers is one. Ellie now is the chair, and she was last year as well, of the SAC, of the Student Athlete Advisory Council. I got to meet her. I got to meet Adriana Nojang, who was one of our top women's lacrosse players. They were both involved in the search process. I got to meet several athletes that have since graduated that were part of the process. And then as I just wandered the campus, I didn't gain names. I just kind of talked to different students, and I obviously knew that some were student athletes based on their attire, based on an athletic type gear that they were wearing. But it got reinforced during that process, and one of the reasons why I asked to start in May as opposed to in June, when we had talked about it initially, was I wanted to come here while the students were still on campus in May, where I could begin making those relationships. And I probably talked to 24 student athletes in May before they left for the summer, and those meetings were invaluable. They helped shape a lot of the direction of what I wanted to attack and what I wanted our staff to attack. We took that feedback, and as we try to improve the overall student-athlete experience, taking that feedback into account and trying to build a program of which they could be proud.
I like that you mentioned Adriana Nojang, because I got to meet her in high school and actually did a show with her. So it's just funny how the world gets increasingly smaller.
It does.
Especially in the sports world. And so you coming here and just feeling like it's a good fit, and then meeting these student athletes and seeing a connection there, what value do you see in LeMoyne when you step foot on here and you decide, okay, this is a job that I want? Before you got this job, you had to see the value, because anything we do in life is an investment of time, investment of energy, investment of resources. So why invest in LeMoyne?
I think simply, I don't look at it why I'm investing in LeMoyne. I think LeMoyne's investing in me, to be honest with you. I think LeMoyne can make me a better person, can make me a better leader, a better administrator. And do I think there are talents and things that I can help bring to advance our program and our institution? Yes, there are. I've been blessed with an unbelievable amount of life experiences while at West Point. I've been a part of fantastic events, from the Army-Navy football game to Army-New York Yankee baseball exhibition games at West Point, on and on and on. I could go on forever. And I think those experiences provided me with a value set that, and an experience resume that I can come here and maybe in some small manner bring some of those things to LeMoyne, whether it's how we structure our department, whether it's the plans and processes that we're going to put in place that lead our department. It's added that structure, it's some oversight instances that we've implemented here. So I think it's a symbiotic relationship. I think I'm going to invest in LeMoyne, and I have passionately, with all my heart, and I think LeMoyne has made a great commitment to invest in me. And so I feel like it's a perfect fit from that standpoint. I think relationships, they work that way, right, where they should benefit each partner. So I think I can help LeMoyne, and I know that LeMoyne will help me, and already has helped me.
How has LeMoyne helped you already?
I think being around people that have high character, that have a high value set, the same type of people that I dealt with and had the pleasure of working with at West Point, I'm dealing with the same type of people here. Our President Lemura, is just incredible. She's an incredible individual. And as I got to know President Lemura a little bit during the interview process, I knew that I wanted the opportunity to work for her if I could, because I believe in her value set. I keep saying the same thing, but it's true. If you believe in mission and you believe in guiding principles, then you want to align yourself with people of like-mindedness. And I knew that there was similarity. I knew that I could absolutely align strongly behind the mission of this institution, that we would build an athletic program that aligned completely behind the mission of LeMoyne College first. So that was really the first step in for me deciding where to go. I wanted to align a place where my values, I wasn't going to change my value set at all. At this stage of my life, I did not want to do that. So I found a place in LeMoyne where we could get behind the mission and the principles and the academic mission of the institution, and put that first. At West Point, we knew we were there for a higher mission. We were there to develop leaders, second lieutenants that were going to go out and lead our nation's sons and daughters into battle. That was our primary mission. Athletics was going to be a vehicle to help enhance that development, and I believe the same here at LeMoyne. We're here and we can enhance the overall product of LeMoyne by instilling those great values in our student athletes.
Spending as much time as you did at Army West Point, how did you know it was time for the next chapter for you?
Interesting. I didn't know that it was the time, per se. I just felt like this was a wonderful opportunity, and the day that I stepped foot on campus, when I got into my car and was driving back to Orange County, I felt that I would regret not pursuing this chance to come here and lead this department. I felt like if I didn't pursue it, it was something I would regret for the rest of my life. So it was more of the opportunity of LeMoyne than it was time to leave West Point. I've been blessed with the opportunity to grow there for many, many years. I started out as an intern in the sports information office, into the athletic communications area, became the SID, spent several years as the number 2 person in that department, have handled tremendous things such as football, scheduling, all of our television contracts, our bowl agreements. Right up until the day I left, I was still scheduling football games all the way out to 2035. And people ask me, why would you leave that solution, that setting, have those tremendous opportunities? And I loved my job. I loved till the day I left there. But I just felt like this was an opportunity to grow in a way that I couldn't grow at West Point. And I felt like it was a great fit. And I didn't look at any athletic director job and say, I just want to be an AD somewhere. That wasn't a driving factor for me. It was going to a place that I believed in, that I felt like would believe in me, and we could grow together.
That coming from Bob Beretta, the Director of Athletics here at LeMoyne College, and of course AD and DT here with you every single month as part of the Multimedia Marketing Partnership, proudly connecting Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora Broadcast Media, and LeMoyne College Athletics. Bob, final piece to this, why Fins Up? What does it mean?
I think it's everything. It's the fabric of this institution, but it's much more than a rallying cry. It's funny, we go to the Mass of the Holy Spirit, and the bishop and the provincial, they say, fins up. It's more than a fight, than a rallying cry for the athletic teams. I think it's a notion here at LeMoyne that we're seeking to be better, and we feel very optimistic and passionate about this institution that the best is yet to come. And so our trajectory is always going to be up. It's always going to be looking up. It's onward, it's upward and onward, it's all those things. So it's much more than a fight cry for our athletic teams. To me, it's who we are. It's the fabric of this institution, and it's meant, we have a very positive outlook. We have a positive outlook on life. We have a positive outlook on our mission, and we believe that the best is still before us. So fins up to everyone out there. We are really passionate about LeMoyne College and the Heights, and we're really passionate about the bright future ahead of us all.
I like that. Fins up, really connecting every Dolphin, past, present, and future, saying we're always going to elevate each other and we're going to elevate together.
Absolutely. Well said, Dan.
So with that, Bob Beretta, myself, Dan Tortora, AD and DT, find all of this on the LeMoyne tab on wakeupcalldt.com. You can also find us with stories like this on Facebook at wakeupcalldt, Twitter at calldt, and Instagram at wakeupcall_DT, as well as our weekly broadcast. Bob, as always, thank you.
My pleasure, Dan. Thanks so much for being part of this with us.
Absolutely. Avicoli's, located on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, has been your trusted neighbor for decades. Located just steps from Liverpool High School, we're happy to have the Liverpool Warriors on-site, on-location broadcast at Avicoli's through Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora every single month, featuring student athletes, coaches, and administration throughout the year from Liverpool High School. Head out to Avicoli's today on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, open Tuesday through Sunday for lunch, dinner, and drinks. We'd love to see you out there, and of course you can call them at 315-622-5100 for takeout, delivery, and catering. That's 315-622-5100, and also find them on myavicolis.com. That's myavicollis.com. Having peace of mind when you're out of town that your furry-loving friend is safe and sound means taking them to Canine Campground, because we all know that when it comes to the love of our pets, it goes well beyond the call of duty to make sure they're safe and sound. Right, Lily? So take a ride to 242 Johnson Street in East Syracuse, New York, and see Canine Campground and where your dog will be staying in the classic cabin, the executive cabin, the grand cabin, or of course the luxury cabin, because if you know Lily, you know she loves luxury. Now you don't have to wait to the last minute to find a family member or a friend that'll take your dog for a few days. Call Canine Campground at 315-299-4013. That's 315-299-4013. Their drop-off and pickup times are Monday through Sunday. Check K9campground.com for more information. That's the letter K, the number 9, and campground spelled with a K.com. K9campground.com.
When you're going out of town, bring your dog to Canine Campground.
PB&J's Lunchbox, the food truck that you love finding all throughout Central and Upstate New York, now has a street-side cafe. So when you're craving their traditional favorites as well as their out-of-box amazing menu items, you can now head to 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York. Located just minutes from the highway, the Thruway, Destiny USA, and Onondaga Lake Parkway, PB&J's Lunchbox Street-Side Cafe is there for you Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner all throughout the day. Get breakfast for dinner, dinner for lunch, whatever you fancy, including their award-winning grilled peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Find them at 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York. PB&J's Lunchbox, where we love to know what's in your lunchbox. As a patient, what do we want? To be cared for, to be listened to, and to have someone walk us through the process on our path to victory. Victory Sports Medicine and Orthopedics does all of those things beautifully, with Dr. Mark Petropoli leading the team on 791 West Genesee Street in Skaneateles, New York, located minutes from beautiful Skaneateles Lake. Whatever your injury may be from head to toe, preventative care, rehab, physical therapy, laser therapy, and surgery are all available at Victory Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, where they care about us, they listen to us, and they understand that everyone's path to victory is a little bit different. Let them help you on yours by calling 315-685-7544 to make your appointment today. That's 315-685-7544. And find out more information at victorysportsmedicine.com. Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on wakeupcalldt.com, your one-stop sports shop, and on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt, where you're listening, you're watching on Facebook Live on facebook.com/livenowdt, as well as on youtube.com/wakeupcalldt, and on youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. So however you're tuning in to the show here, thank you. I think I said YouTube twice there. It was like an echo in the studio. So youtube.com/wakeupcalldt, facebook.com/wakeupcalldt, and facebook.com/livenowdt. You just heard from Bob Beretta in Why LeMoyne, and these pieces, AD and DT, will also be uploaded to our YouTube library at youtube.com/wakeupcalldt and shared on our social media, so you can check them out. That social media, Facebook at wakeupcalldt, the Twitter at calldt, as well as on Instagram at wakeupcall_DT. So make sure you check it out there. If you missed it and you just want to have it back, it'll also be on the website on wakeupcalldt.com's LeMoyne page. So make sure you check that out too. So a lot of great stuff coming up with LeMoyne. Love doing it. Every single Wednesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time is Dolphin time, and we have had 2 editions of AD and DT. We've had 1 edition of the Dolphin Dive. As you know, AD and DT is every first and third Wednesday of the month, and then we have the second and fourth Wednesdays going to Dolphin Dive. And Dolphin Dive, we got to start that off with Bryant Perdomo, who joined me, and we're going to have an all-new one coming up this coming Wednesday. And to find out exactly who that's going to be, stay close to our social media that I just mentioned. Facebook at wakeupcalldt, Twitter at calldt, and Instagram at wakeupcall_DT. So a lot of great stuff coming up with the LeMoyne College Dolphins, and very much appreciate having them here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Fins truly up. So that being said, here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, before we get into fantasy football, and you know that the Fantasy Football Power Hour, which has its own video every Wednesday here on Facebook and YouTube. We shoot 2 different videos here in the studio live, and we do that because fantasy football is its own big thing here within everything that we do here. It's its own entity inside a Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. So I'm very excited to tell you that we're going to be able to have some fun with that today and every Wednesday. So very much looking forward to the Fantasy Football Power Hour. But speaking of having fun with it, what we're doing now is we're expanding the Fantasy Football Power Hour, because you know we always go outside of an hour. So we're going to start at 9:45 instead of 10 a.m. now. So we'll be at 9:45 to 11 a.m. Eastern Time right here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, with my fantasy football partner, Mike Sofka of Hall of Fame FantasyFootball.com, as well as the Winning Fantasy Football group on Facebook that you can join for free on Facebook right now, and of course the Winning Fantasy Football YouTube channel. So you can check us all out there, which I'm very, very excited to be able to do that every Wednesday with Mr. Sofka. So he'll be joining us very, very shortly here for I can't even believe it's already week 3 of the NFL. So I do want to give my shout-outs and my love, and we'll be doing that during the Fantasy Football Power Hour to the weekly winners. Those of you, there's 3 Central New York leagues that call the Wildcat Sports Pub home. There's our Floridian League that calls Hooters I Drive home, and there's our Marywood Alumni League with fellow Marywood Pacers that I put together to keep the alumni together and to keep us, talking to each other and just, building those bonds. So I'm very, very excited to be able to shout some people out here and and have some fun with that. So very much looking forward to that. So that's the NFL talk. I do want to give a shout out too to Designated Diamonds, which is the show that I do every Tuesday night, an extension of Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where we talk about baseball with Brendan Murphy, another Marywood alum. And Brendan and I every Tuesday at 8 p.m. do Designated Diamonds, and you can check that out. A new episode aired last night, and that's available by going to youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. So make sure that you jump into that and check that out. I do want to give a very special, before we get into the Fantasy Football Power Hour, I want to give a very special congratulations on 15 years in the NBA, and that going to Mr. J.J. Redick, who announced his retirement after 15 seasons. So he was the Associated Press Player of the Year when he was at Duke, and he announced his retirement yesterday, September 21st, the first day of fall. JJ is 37 years old. He played with the Orlando Magic, the Los Angeles Clippers, the Philadelphia 76ers, the New Orleans Pelicans, as well as the Milwaukee Bucks and the Dallas Mavericks. He averaged 12.8 points per game in 940 regular season games, and his 1,950 career made three-pointers is 15th in NBA history in career made threes. 1,950 is 15th in the NBA. So kind of fitting that after 15 seasons and rising to number 15 in the rankings in three-pointers made, that he decides to wrap it up here and go on to the next chapter of his life, which I don't know how you ever truly wrap it up, but, you know, I don't even know if I want to say, I mean, it's hard. I mean, I'm not even the person retiring, and I'm like, wait a minute, do I want to retire? So, you know, because it is, I don't know if I'll ever retire completely. And so for JJ, I think it's absolutely great to see him get to number 15th all-time in three-pointers made in the NBA and to retire after 15 seasons. So you got 15 and 15, which is beautiful. It's just going to be hard to see him go. That's all. He said, quote, "As a 7-year-old boy, I dreamed of playing at Duke. As I got older, I dreamed of playing in the NBA." Is what he had to say here. He said, quote, "The last 30 years of basketball have been beyond my wildest dreams. I never could have imagined that I would have played basketball for this long. After years of youth leagues, AAU, high school basketball, 4 years at Duke, and 15 years in the NBA, I'm retiring from the game that I love so much," end quote. Now, JJ is still Duke's all-time leading scorer with all the fantastic players that have come through the history of Duke. He's the all-time leading scorer, 2,769 points in his collegiate career, and he is also Duke's all-time leader in three-pointers with 457 and free throw accuracy at 91.2%. So leading Duke in all of those categories. He also averaged 26.8 points per game as a senior, and that's another Duke record. So, and he was picked 11th overall by the Orlando Magic back in I can't even believe this. Back in 2006. So when I was down in Orlando doing my Disney internship, the college opportunity, and so when I was down there working for Disney in college and doing Hurricane Katrina relief before the Disney college program, he was getting drafted to the Orlando Magic. So very small world there. 3 records. I mean, that's insane. 3 records at Duke. 2,769 points, most ever by a Duke player. 457 made threes, most ever by a Duke player. 91.2% free throw percentage, most ever by a Duke player. And another Duke record, 26.8 points per game, averaging as a senior. So crazy here. He was in the NBA playoffs in each of his first 13 seasons in the NBA and went to the NBA Finals with Orlando in 2009 and had a 40-point game for the Clippers in an overtime win. For my family, COVID protocols, and really, truly not playing up to my standards. I would like to describe last season as a 7th-month exercise in coming face-to-face with my own athletic mortality, and it was scary and confusing. I have some clarity now, and I know it's time. It's time for me to be a dad. It's time for me to reflect, pause, and it's time for me to get ready for the next phase of my life, end quote. So that coming from J.J. Redick. Congratulations to you, brother, and a happy retirement, which I'm sure you'll be broadcasting somewhere and doing some great stuff. I'm very positive that that's probably something that we would see happen here. Now, I do want to make a note in the baseball world that there's some cool stuff going on here. Luis Severino returns to the Yankees in a 7-1 victory, and it was the first time he's been in a major league game since the 2019 American League Championship Series on Tuesdays. He's had a bunch of different injuries since re-signing with the Yankees, and so happy to see him here. He worked the final 2 innings of New York's 7-1 win over the Texas Rangers, and Yankees manager Aaron Boone said, quote, "Proud moment for him and for his teammates and for all of us who have seen him go through a lot. He's battled different things and has worked his tail off to get to this moment," end quote. So very cool. He worked in the 8th round, authoring 2 strikeouts and a ground out to go along with a double. In the 9th, he allowed a single before ending it with a double play and a fly out. So Severino said, quote, "I was feeling a lot of different emotions, but I'm happy to be back. Happy to finally help the team. I knew after the first pitch that it was going to come back to normal," end quote. 30 pitches, 19 of them were strikes in this first game back since 2019. Aaron Boone said about Severino, quote, there's got to be rust, nerves, all of that going out there. And I thought he executed, and hopefully this is a step forward for him to help us here down the stretch, end quote. So Severino was activated before Monday's 4-3 win over the Rangers, with Boone clearly saying that he wanted to put him out there as a reliever. So excited, very excited. Now where it goes from here, Aaron Boone said, quote, "I'm not going to cap what that can be. We'll see. That's a talented person and a great pitcher. I'm not going to limit what he's capable of," end quote. So could that mean that he's not relieving and that he's back starting pitching again? Could see. So very excited to see this and to see him back out there. Now, the 27-year-old right-hander, Luis Severino, had Tommy John surgery on February 27th, 2020. He had 4 minor league appearances totaling 10 2/3 innings for Tampa, Hudson Valley, and Somerset. He allowed 4 runs, 5 hits, and 1 home run with 3 walks and 15 strikeouts while he was down in the minors. And then he injured his right groin on June 12th of 2020 in his second minor league appearance for Hudson Valley when he was in Brooklyn. And then he returned to pitch for Somerset on August 3rd and August 8th, then was scratched from August 13th because shoulder tightness when he was supposed to be with AAA Scranton Wilkes-Barre. And so he was scratched from that. Now, Severino said, quote, "The fans always help me every time I'm out there, and I knew we would score, and I knew we scored 7 runs, so I was pretty calm out there," end quote. So very excited. He won 10 games back in 2018. He signed a 4-year, $40 million contract before the 2019 season. And with all the injuries that he's had and everything that's gone on, Boone said, quote, "Tonight we celebrate him." Love it. Love it, love it, love it, end quote. So a lot of cool stuff. Welcome back to baseball, Luis Severino. Happy to have you here. Hopefully you get to be a starting pitcher and your body will be good all the way through everything. None of those injuries will come back. No new ones will start, and you'll have a fantastic continuation of your beautiful career. But we're so happy to see you back, Mr. Severino, and congratulations on being a part of the Yankees' win, as the Yankees are trying to stay from being eliminated here. There's a bunch of teams already eliminated. Spoiler alert, 50 games back in the NL West, my Arizona Diamondbacks have been eliminated from the playoffs. The Pitt Pirates and the Chicago Cubs of the Central Division of the NL are out. The Miami Marlins and the Washington Nationals are out in the NL East, with the Mets, the Phillies, and the Braves still alive. In the AL West, the Angels and Rangers are out, so no reason to bring back Mike Trout, obviously, with the Angels. They're eliminated. And then we see Detroit Tigers, Kansas City Royals, and Minnesota Twins have been eliminated from the Central, with the Cleveland Indians hanging on and the White Sox 10.5 games ahead. And then in the American League East, all 4 teams alive. The Rays, the Red Sox, the Blue Jays, and the Yankees. The only team eliminated from playoff contention are the Baltimore Orioles. So that's a look at baseball. We're going to be heading into football. We're going to end this video and start a new one with Mr. Mike Sofka here at Hall of Fame FantasyFootball.com. So for those of you that are here for some fantasy football love, you're about to get it. And we are starting at 9:45 instead of 10 a.m. because we know that we go long anyways. So I want to make sure we bring you everything that we possibly can. So Mike is going to be joining us here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora in just a few moments. Those of you listening on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt and on wakeupcalldt.com, stay put. And for those of you on YouTube and Facebook, we'll be back momentarily.